Hello, my name is Lydia Radin and I'm a whistleblower, and I'm making this brief videotape to protect my life and for Homeland Security. I'm going through, and for other law enforcement like the United States Marshals and police officers, who I've explained that Asaf Rosenheim, Yael Jacobs, and attorney Milton L. Meyers lied to Homeland Security, and Asaf Rosenheim in July of 2008 confessed on the witness stand in front of two judges, Judge Thos, the presiding judge, and municipal court judge from North Bergen, Nino Falcone. So in this short videotape, I'm going to go through a timeline, and this is going to be part one. And then in part two, I'm going to explicitly show the supportive evidence, including naming names, naming witnesses, and that kind of stuff. So let's go to, I'm going to change the view, and this is the timeline. You can see right here. This is the, let me bring down the magnification just a little bit. This is the timeline that we're going to use. And now I'm going to expand it a little bit so you can see. And I'm going to go through the salient points. Okay, so here we go. This is the timeline. I'm going to start in May of 2002, and there's a tenant's letter. I should preference my remarks by saying a lot of this was coming out in my landlord-tenant case in 2008. So what you're going to see is that this timeline goes from 2002 over some significant events, and then we wind up in my landlord-tenant case in 2008. Had Judge Thos, Judge Falcone, or my attorney Lawrence Sidoni done the right thing, or even Special Agent David Fallon, I would not have been physically assaulted and almost murdered, almost killed at Jersey City Medical Center in 2008, and I would not have been persecuted subsequently. So let me go through the highlights of this timeline for you as quickly as I can. This is the timeline. In May of 2002, there was a tenant's letter that I'll be showing to you. This is from 6K Associates, and the significance of this tenant's letter is that it showed that I was living in Brooklyn for 3 years. My rent had increased $50 per year for 3 years. I could have cared less. And in Jersey in 2008, there was this ridiculous argument that was fabricated that said, she's so angry, she's so angry, she's so angry about a $50 rent increase that she took a wall down in the apartment at 278 3rd Street. That's Ralph Pagnozzi's building. That's not true. You can cross-reference this May 2002 tenant's letter to a telephone conversation I had with a friend of mine that discussed why I asked for that tenant's letter. I moved to New Jersey, and first I moved to Newark, and then I moved to Jersey City. And in June of 2003, I moved into Jersey City. I was sharing an apartment at 278 3rd Street with Asaf Rosenheim. I gave him a security deposit check. It was entered into evidence, and we'll look at it. What is the significance of this security deposit check? That check was presented in small claims court February 27, 2004. I have the certified audio tape from the small claims action. Asaf Rosenheim initiated this action. I did not initiate this action. I could not have. Asaf Rosenheim was the plaintiff. The stupid story that was invented was that I did this so I could get my hands on a air conditioner. That's ridiculous because Asaf Rosenheim is the plaintiff. I was called as a witness. I did not initiate this action. I could not have started this action. Asaf Rosenheim did, and I could care less about an air conditioner because I had my own. And ultimately, the result of this small claims court action was that It demonstrated that Asaf Rosenheim lied in court to try to steal money from the landlords and that, this is a dishonest, self-identified Israeli who lies over and over again. He also was required to return an air conditioner that he stole, and I had no motive in getting my hands on this air conditioner because I had my own air conditioner. It was better than this one, and I never used this air conditioner. I didn't need it, and I was burdened with the storage. So in February of 2000, in February 27th of 2004, I have the certified audio tape. I will be playing it. In small claims court, Asaf Rosenheim tried to get money from the landlords. He tried to sue them for $1,000, but I presented a security deposit check for $500 that shows that he got at least $500 from me. This tape from this small claims action was played in July 2008 to show that Asaf Rosenheim had a retaliatory motive, and that Magna Pagnosi, my landlord, was asked directly by the judge in this small claims action, do you accept this woman, Lydia Radin, as your tenant? And she said yes, thereby rendering all the stupid stories that my landlords were coming up with in July of 2008 moot. They were all lies. So all the nonsense that my landlords and their dishonest attorney, Nino Falcone, who also serves as a municipal court judge in North Bergen, and he had come in from North Bergen where my landlady Magda and Pagnosi lives with her husband Ralph Pagnosi. Ralph and Magda Pagnosi live in North Bergen, New Jersey. Nino Falcone is a municipal court judge in North Bergen, New Jersey, and he was hired by my landlords to come into Jersey City to pursue frivolous actions against me. Ultimately, when he lost against me, he lied to a hospital to have me physically assaulted and almost killed. So we have the security deposit check. It was entered into evidence. I'm living at the apartment at 278 3rd Street from on or about February of 2003. Asaf didn't ask me, well, he asked me for one security deposit check that he didn't cash, and I had to replace it with another one. So that's why this date is, I moved in February of, on or about February of 2003, and I had to give Asaf Rosenheim a second security deposit check to replace the first. So this is the one he cashed, and we'll be looking at that. Throughout 2003, I'm living at the apartment at 278 3rd Street, apartment 1. Asaf is running criminal scheme after criminal scheme after criminal scheme. I've got so much crime and corruption coming in and out of this apartment, I can't even begin to describe it to you. Asaf is, I'm like, what are you into here, Asaf? I've got Israelis coming in and out of the apartment like you would not believe. One of the criminal schemes ultimately was to lie to Homeland Security, and I'll get to that. In the meantime, Asaf is breaking the lease any way he can. He's trying the landlord's patience. Do not believe the stuff this guy is up to. And one of the things that he did was he illegally sublet the apartment for a month in August 2003. He went on a trip to India with his gay lover, Harry Ewan. Harry and Asaf are openly gay. I didn't out them. Asaf is an openly gay man. And his father subsequently said something stupid, or Asaf said something stupid like, "Oh, I haven't even told my father I'm gay yet." I'm like, please, you go to gay events, you live as an openly gay man. There's nothing that you're hiding here. Oh, Lydia Radin's so insensitive, she outed me. Oh, please, you were out of the closet long before I showed up. In August and believe me, Asaf Rosenheim's parents have a lot more to worry about than his son being than their son, Asaf Rosenheim, being gay. This man is a psychopath. In 2003, Asaf and his gay lover Harry went to India for about a month, and they sublet the apartment to two Asian students from NYU. These are their names. They were boyfriend and girlfriend. Asaf Rosenheim and I were not boyfriend and girlfriend. These two Asian students were. And the apartment was big enough where the bedrooms were on opposite sides of a large living room, dining room area. Through October, November, and December of 2003, My landlord, Ralph Pagnosi, told Ralph that he's not renewing his lease for lots of different reasons. In November of 2003, I had to call the Jersey City Police, so there is a police report, and I'm reporting to the Jersey City Police some of Asaf Rosenheim's criminal schemes and asking for protection. This man is threatening me every way he can. One of the last times I saw Asaf Rosenheim, he went berserk and he was ripping a medicine cabinet out of a wall. In December of 2003, Asaf Rosenheim and Yael Jacobs start to execute a criminal scheme. And what they do is they start to put Yael Jacobs' name on utility bills and Verizon is a phone company, and phone company bills to try to falsely represent that Yael Jacobs is living at the apartment at 278 3rd Street. She is not. And Asaf Rosenheim is living in this apartment with me. He was not invited to renew his lease as we moved out of 2003 and go to 2004. Asaf Rosenheim claims as his New York residence Harry Ewan's New York address. So Yael Jacobs and Asaf Rosenheim do not live together in New Jersey. Not at 278 3rd Street. He's an openly gay man. Yael Jacobs is a woman, and Asaf Rosenheim on his income tax claims his gay lover Harry's address in New York on his income tax as his New York address. So they are, Yael Jacobs and Asaf Rosenheim are not presenting evidence of a common residence in a shared life. She's a woman, he's an openly gay man. His New York address is Harry Ewan's address. So here you go. In 2004, they lied to Homeland Security, and I'm going to show you those documents. The excuse that they made was that, and this was entered into evidence, the excuse that was made was that, the immigration office, Yael Jacobs is trying to get her work permits and she wants to come to America, but she doesn't really want to be burdened with living in America and working in America. So Asaf Rosenheim is putting her name on utility bills and phone bills, and they're lying to Homeland Security with the help of attorney Milton L. Meyers, falsely representing that Yael Jacobs lives in an apartment on 278 3rd Street, which she does not. And the stupid excuse we had to listen to was, the immigration office in New York, the lines were too long, so we came to use the immigration office in New Jersey. That's nonsense. That doesn't account for the fraud of putting Yael Jacobs' name on telephone bills and utility bills to try to falsely represent that she lived at the apartment at 278 3rd Street when she never did. That's called fraud. And Homeland Security is writing to her at 278 3rd Street in 2004. They're executing their criminal scheme, which was discussed in front of me in 2003. So they begin to execute their criminal scheme. I report this to the Jersey City Police, and they're executing their criminal scheme, and Homeland Security is sending letters saying, please present yourself to the immigration office and to Homeland Security so that you can get your work permit. All of this fraud is starting to come out in my landlord-tenant case in July of 2008 in front of presiding Judge Fast and Nino Falcone. Nino Falcone is a municipal court judge from North Bergen, and he's been hired to come in from North Bergen to come into Jersey City to function as my landlord's attorney. My attorney is Lawrence Sidoni, and he's from Northeast New Jersey Legal Services. So he's a court officer, and he's required to report this fraud, not to go along with it. In June of 2008, there was a car crash where I was legally parked in New York, and I was rear-ended before I was scheduled to give testimony the day before. This is very significant because this car crash resulted in me having 5 herniated discs and a pinched nerve. It's also significant for other reasons. I had myself investigated before all of this started. And I had myself investigated by an insurance company, Allstate Insurance Company, ostensibly because I was shopping for a better insurance premium. And here's what the insurance company said: Lydia, we looked into your background, and you are not you are not clean, as we say in the business. You're even better than clean. You're what we call, quote, sparkling clean, end quote. Not only do you not get into car accidents because you don't do anything, but you anticipate the moves of the other drivers so you can compensate for their mistakes. So I don't get into car crashes. I take safety classes once in a while to increase my skills, and I drive a stick shift. The significance of driving a stick shift is that you have to shift the car. This is not an automatic. So you're always thinking 3 steps ahead, because you know, based on your human error, that one of those times when you shift, you're going to fail. So you're always anticipating. You're always an active driver. You're always very attuned to the car, the sound of the car, the way the car is moving, because you know that out of 100 shifts, you're probably going to fail on 1 to 3 of them, because that's just human error. So the fact that I was legally parked and rear-ended the night before I was scheduled to testify is significant, because they try to use this against me subsequently. And after this, as I'm testifying in July of 2008, Asaf tries to discredit me as a witness, because Nino Falcone tries to discredit me as witness. I didn't recall at the moment that it was happening on the witness stand that I had seen Asaf after he had moved out of the apartment at 278 3rd Street. I had seen Asaf a couple years later at a gay man's event when I was trying to help Javon Paddyar. Javon Paddyar was illegally expelled from my medical school, and he called me and asked me for help, and I had attended a gay men's event in New York attempting to provide some assistance to Javon Paddyar. So in June of 2008, I have a car crash. I asked Lawrence Sidoni's boss, Mr. Fitzgerald, I explained to him I'd been in a car crash, I need to recover, I'm in a lot of pain, and I said, could we postpone this trial date so I can recover? And Mr. Fitzgerald said no. I'm like, what are you talking about? I need to recover from this. And Judge Fast was not against postponing the trial, because Judge Fast wanted to go on vacation. He didn't want to come in over the summer. So I was forced to go through this trial with very serious injuries. Why? Because it was just a dirty lawyer trick to try to shake me up so that I would be a less credible witness. This is dirty lawyer trick, number 341. If you remember the Excedrin commercials from, a couple, like 20 or 30 years ago, they used to have these sort of humorous Excedrin commercials. This is Excedrin headache number 312. Well, this is dirty lawyer trick number 304. So in July of 2000, I'm making a joke, obviously. In July of 2008 in Jersey City, presiding Judge Fast, Falcone subpoenaed, I love this, Nino Falcone subpoenaed David Fallon. David Fallon is a special agent in Homeland Security. Why? Because Asaf Rosenheim confessed on the witness stand in July of 2008. This is not private information. This is public information. So after this, when David Fallon threatened me that if I identified him, he would bring charges against me, listen, Mr. Fallon, Special Agent Fallon, as I explained, there was a subpoena made for you. That's a public court record. Asaf Rosenheim confessed on the witness stand. None of this is private. This is all part of the the public court record. And yes, I'm almost done. And had all of you guys done your job in July of 2008, I would not have been physically assaulted and almost killed on Tuesday, September 30th, 2008. And this is very quickly the end of part 1. The U.S. Marshals asked me for a timeline, so here's one. When I go into part 2 and part 3, I will be presenting the specific evidence. Thank you for your kind attention.